SirVocea Dennis.
There you go.
We talked about him earlier. We did.
Yep.
Another player that we have been talking about.
Yep.
Two Pittsburgh
SirVocea
players.
Dennis. There we go. Really good player.
Yeah, Kalijah Cansey should be very happy about that.
I even asked him about this the other day, actually yesterday. I said, what would it be like to have SirVocea Dennis, Brandon Hill, some of these Pittsburgh defensive players join you in Tampa? He would love it. And this is a guy right here, really heady player. What I liked about him is his ability to blitz.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about earlier, Scott, is just finding a guy that's tailor-made for something specific in Todd Bowles' defense, which in this case, it is the fact that he can blitz and get after the quarterback.
Yeah, the thing for me is when we're looking at doing these mock drafts and doing the Bucs best bets, his 40-yard dash time was not as sterling as some of the others, right? And Cam Jones, actually, I mean, you look at the 40-yard dash time, Owen Papo 4.39. That was the fastest running back here. SirVocea Dennis
4.63 on his pro day too. Usually pro day is a little more favorable to the players there versus being at a neutral site in Indy.
Exactly. And you look at Cam Jones from Indiana 4.6. So it was either Jones or SirVocea Dennis in terms of which player we were going to put in for a Bucs best bet. I like this guy, though. 15 career sacks. He had 4 sacks in 2020, 4 in 2021, 7 last year, and has just been a big-time producer. He was a team captain, played on special teams.
First team All-ACC.
Yeah, blocked a field goal in 2021.
Yeah.
This is what Dane Brugler has to say about his strengths. Rangy and plays fast, lean, cut body type, 7% body fat. Makes plays up and down the line of scrimmage, never shutting things down. Aware player and consistently reads his keys to stay ahead of cutoff. Strong tackling form, strikes low and physical to make misses rare. He only missed 4 tackles, folks, in 2022. That's right, 4. That's pretty good. That's a hell of a number for a guy that racked up 94 tackles, including 12 for a loss.
400 career special teams snaps as well. I want to go back to a couple more stats that he had in college. You rattled off the sacks. When you look at 2020, his tackles for a loss, 14 and a half.
Yeah.
And it stayed consistent with it. Dropped a little bit, but to 9.5 in 2021, and then back up to 12 in 2022. So obviously a leader on Pittsburgh's defense. And let's face it, the Bucs, whether the Devin White situation rears its ugly head or not, the Bucs needed depth at inside linebacker after Levante and Devin White, and they just found it here.
This is a really good pick.
Very solid 5th round pick. Yeah. I have no qualms with this one.
He's not the biggest guy, though. And if you look at this picture, like he's 6 foot 226. That's about Levante David size. Where you look at a guy like Devin White, who's about 240, just a bigger guy. But he plays big. He plays faster than he times. He's a very smart, cerebral player. Does a great job in coverage as a zone dropper. He made all the defensive calls. Everything went through him on defense. He's a very smart player. As a 3-year starter at Pittsburgh, Dennis originally played the money position before moving to Mike in head coach Pat Nardizzi's 4-3 base scheme. He led the team in tackles each of the past 2 years and developed into a captain on defense with a dependable personal and football character. With his agility and play recognition, Dennis has the range to cover every inch of the field versus the run. And in zone coverage, he can get better man-to-man. Although he is a strong form tackler, he lacks the knockback striking power. And, with his size, if he doesn't beat the tackle or the guard to the spot, he's going to get blocked just because. And we've seen Levante David get that way too. He has to win intellectually. He's got to get to the spot and beat the offensive lineman to where the ball carrier is going to go. And if he does that, he's going to make the tackle. But
a couple more stats on him. He had a 90.6 Pro Football Focus grade last season, 92.1 against the run. Also had 32 quarterback pressures and 49 defensive stops as well. Got to say thank you to Salty Buccaneer for the super chat. Pass the SirVocea. I was thinking about that as well.
Consensus board had SirVocea at 189, so this is
a little bit of a reach compared to that. And his overall RAS score was good at 7.28.
7.28 RAS score.
Elite explosions
Yeah,
with
he-
the 41.5-inch vertical.
He's got a 41.5-inch vertical, very elite, explosive guy. The one thing too that I know Jason Light and the Bucs put a little bit of a premium on is the fact that his parents were both in the military. So he grew up in a military
Disciplined background.
background for sure. And that's something that carries some weight. It's not like a necessity. It's not like the Bucs go looking for these types of players, but boy, it is certainly something that usually when you have what they call an army brat or military kid, they're raised right. There is a level of discipline there. And SirVocea was named after the French cognac. That's right. Courvoisier.
Right.
And after his father heard the drink mentioned one night at a restaurant. He's already graduated with a degree in criminal law, and he skipped the 2022 bowl game, but did accept the invitation to the Senior Bowl where we saw him play. He didn't play in the game because he had suffered an ankle injury during the week. So, SirVocea Dennis, this is a good player. If the Philadelphia Eagles can draft Bulldogs, why can't the Bucs draft Panthers?
But I do think there is a sense of like continuity and things of that nature too. I always thought it was interesting. Again, we spoke about this earlier on the show, but when Jason Light and the Bucs front office likes to flood the position, like if you draft two defensive backs in the same draft, I do think there is some type of like kinship with people with some people at the same position. Like you're all experiencing going through the NFL together all at the same time. And I think it's better to do it with a buddy or someone that you can build a friendship with. And if you're already teammates with a couple of guys, I think that really goes a very, very long way. So I think it's going to benefit Kalijah Cansey and obviously now SirVocea Dennis as well.
And the other thing too is they're both coming in this rookie class, right? And we know Dennis, is going to come in as a backup. He's got to learn this defense. Devin White, if he's there, is going to be the starter. I mean, that's pretty much assured. But when you have those two guys on the field together, right? I mean, SirVocea Dennis is used to playing off of Kalijah Cansey in front of him. And so
point A to point B, right there.
Yeah. Just like we've seen how Vita Vea and Devin White with those blitzes, right? Those A-gap blitzes, they will work off of each other. They have that chemistry, that camaraderie, that experience playing together. That means something. And so if SirVocea Dennis is to see the field, then he'll be on the field during the preseason games. And I'm sure probably paired up with at least a little bit Kalijah Cansey for some of those preseason snaps. Those two guys are going to have that camaraderie, that feel for each other. And it's going to give them a little bit of a head start, I think, in this defense together.
Culture building.